In today's session, we are going to discuss about reaction mechanism. In this reaction mechanism, Grignard addition to carbonyl compounds. So Grignard reagent is the most important versatile reagent which is used to synthesize so many type of new compounds. New compounds are synthesized by using Grignard reagent. That's the reason why it is the significant reagent in the organic chemistry. When this Grignard reagent is added to carbonyl compounds, what is the probable product and what is the mechanism and how many type of products are generated, we are going to discuss now. Okay, RMGX is the general molecular formula of Grignard reagent. R stands for alkyl group and magnesium metal is there. X stands for any halide. Chloride, bromide, iodide can be taken here. RMGX is the general molecular formula of Grignard reagent. Okay, so here the simple example for this Grignard reagent is methyl magnesium chloride. In case of this methyl magnesium chloride, here R is equal to CH3, magnesium is there and X is equal to Cl. So methyl magnesium chloride is the simple example for Grignard reagent. Now let us see what happens when Grignard reagent is added. Here, when we are taking this synthesis of Grignard reagent first, we are taking alkyl halide. CH3Br is the simple alkyl halide methyl bromide. When methyl bromide is added with magnesium in the presence of ether, so because this reaction should be carried under dry conditions, ether used to provide the dry condition. If water is added, all the substances are water soluble and product formation is not possible. That's the reason why methyl bromide added with magnesium metal in ether solvent, there is a formation of CH3MgBr is possible. CH3MgBr is the simple Grignard reagent in this category. Okay, now let us see what are the possible reactions of Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent when reacted with carbonyl compound, carbonyl is nothing but C double bond O functional group is called carbonylic functional group. So carbonylic functional groups like aldehydes and ketones, these two comes under carbonylic compounds. When carbonylic compounds are treated with Grignard reagent, the final product is hydroxy compound. Okay, always hydroxy compound is generated when Grignard reagent is treated with carbonyl compound. Let us see, when methanol is nothing but formaldehyde, formaldehyde is nothing but HCHO is treated with Grignard reagent, the final product will be primary alcohol. When aldehyde is treated, aldehyde is nothing but RCHO. When this aldehyde is treated with Grignard reagent, the final product will be secondary alcohol. When ketones are treated, when ketones are treated here, ketones are used to give tertiary alcohols in this reaction. Okay, so formaldehyde gives primary, normal aldehydes gives secondary, all the ketones are able to give tertiary alcohols in case of Grignard reagent reaction. Let us see how the reactions are possible. RMGX stands for Grignard reagent. This is treated with first formaldehyde. It is the methanol called formaldehyde. So this formaldehyde when treated, R group is attached to the carbon atom. MgX group is attached to the oxygen, followed by hydrolysis. The final product will be RCH2OH. RCH2OH is called primary hydroxy compound. When RMGX Grignard reagent added to this aldehyde compound, formation of the secondary alcohol is possible, where R group is attached to the carbon and this dialkyl is called secondary. In case of ketone, already two alkyl groups are there. When this RMGX is added, trialkyl compound is generated, which is called tertiary hydroxy compound. Okay, formaldehyde gives primary, normal aldehydes gives secondary, then ketone gives tertiary hydroxy compound. This is about the Grignard reaction with the carbonylic compounds. We have a few example general Grignard reagent reactions. When it is treated with RMGX followed by hydrolysis, formaldehyde gives primary alcohol. When cyclic ether was taken, this is a cyclic ether. It is also converted into primary hydroxy compound. When aldehyde was there, normal aldehyde was there, it used to give secondary alcohol. When ketone was there, ketone used to give tertiary alcohol, just to be discussed now. And ester compound on treatment with RMGX, it used to give. Again, it is also giving this tertiary hydroxy compound. But in our syllabus, we have addition of Grignard reagent to carbonyl compounds, nothing but aldehydes and ketone. That's why these two products are most significant according to our syllabus. The next, these are the few examples. When we are taking formaldehyde, is treated with phenyl magnesium bromide. Instead of R group, we are taking benzene ring. When phenyl magnesium bromide is treated in ether solvent and subjected to hydrolysis, the product will be benzene ring containing COH, nothing but benzene CH2OH. So this is again called a primary hydroxy compound. When benzaldehyde was treated with this RMGX, benzaldehyde treated with RMGX, it used to give secondary hydroxy compound. Then ketone, this is called acetophenone. Acetophenone is benzene C double bond was CH3. This is a ketonic compound. So when it is treated with, instead of methyl lithium, we are taking RMGX here, Grignard reagent here. It used to give tertiary alcohol or tertiary hydroxy compound. So these are the few examples for Grignard addition to carbonylic compounds. We have to take either aldehyde or ketone for the reaction. Now, let us see what is the actual mechanism involved in this. When this carbonylic carbon is added with RMGX, here R group is negatively charged and magnesium is positively charged, because always metal acquires positive charge and bonded electrons are shifted towards R group. Hence, it exists in R minus negatively charged alkyl group attached to carbonylic carbon. Now, bonded electrons, pi bonded electrons are shifted towards oxygen atom. Then it is converted into Cr. On this oxygen, MgX group is added. That is called OMgX. This OMgX group subjected to hydrolysis. When it is hydrolyzed, here the formation of OH plus MgOHX. This is called the alcoholic compound. It is a simple mechanism. Whatever aldehyde or ketone we are taking, the mechanism remains the same. Carbonylic center is added with RMGX. Here, alkyl group is negatively charged attached to the carbon and magnesium halide is attached to the oxygen atom. So this is about the mechanism, and the final product will be alcohol. Then by this, we completed Grignard addition to carbonyl compounds. Let us revise. Grignard reagent when added to formaldehyde gives primary alcohol. Normal aldehyde gives secondary alcohol. Ketone, any ketone that gives tertiary alcohol. The mechanism for all the reactions are common, which is represented here. R group attached to the carbon, MgX group is attached to the oxygen. And further hydrolysis of this OMg bond, it is converted into OH and MgOHX. This is the final product, alcohol, generated in Grignard reaction. Okay. Now let us see next segment called elimination reactions. Elimination reactions are carried in alkyl halides. When alkyl halides are treated with any dehydrohalogenating agent, they involved in removal of H plus and X minus from the adjacent carbon atoms, and saturated compounds get converted into unsaturated compounds. Saturated compounds are nothing but carbon-carbon single bond containing compounds. After the reaction, after the elimination of HX, that is converted into either double or triple bonded compound. So this is called elimination reaction. Here, organic reaction in which two substances are removed from the adjacent positions, either in one step or two-step mechanism, that is called elimination reaction. If the reaction carried in one step, that is called E2 elimination. If the elimination carried in multi-step or two steps, it is called unimolecular or E1 elimination reaction. Now, Let us see the types of elimination reactions. E1 and E2 elimination reactions are there. E1 stands for unimolecular elimination reaction. E2 stands for bimolecular elimination reaction. Let us discuss in detail. E1 is unimolecular elimination reaction. This reaction proceeds via two-step mechanism. Just like SN1, here also we have two-step mechanism in E1 elimination reaction. Here, rate of the reaction mainly depends upon the concentration of alkyl halide, but not on the incoming nucleophile or incoming base. That's why it is called unimolecular, and which is the first order reaction. Okay, rate of the reaction depends upon the concentration of only one reactant, hence it is called a unimolecular reaction. This is called unimolecular reaction. Sorry, let us admit remaining all the members, they are waiting here. Okay, rate of the reaction comes under unimolecular because rate depends upon the concentration of alkyl halide only. So it is the first order kinetics. And the next, this is the simple mechanism for this rate of the reaction. Many members are all of you, please indicate your roll numbers in your WhatsApp group. Here it is not possible because we already started the class. It is not possible to note down. So all of you indicate your roll numbers in the WhatsApp group. Please mention your roll numbers in the WhatsApp group so that I will upload in ERP. Okay, so in this reaction, what we are doing here, halo group is eliminated from one carbon, hydrogen is eliminated from second carbon. So when these two H and X are eliminated in in the first step, only halide is eliminated. That's the reason why we will get carbocation. This is the step one. Okay, in step one, what happens? It is dissociated into carbocation and X minus. That's why it is the rate determining step where the slow step process is possible. Okay. In the fast step, what happens? Base able to abstract the proton from H plus from adjacent carbon atom. Then here carbon-carbon double bond is generated, which is called alkene. Okay. So that's why it is called multi-step process. Even reaction is called a multi-step process, where here alkyl halide in the first step formation of carbocation is possible by the removal of X minus. Then it is treated with this base. When base is added, what happens? That used to remove H plus from the adjacent position, C minus C plus, they are used to form new carbon-carbon double bond. So this is about the simple mechanism of even reaction. Now let us see what are the important conditions of even reaction or even elimination. Even mechanism, also called as unimolecular elimination. There are usually two steps are involved. So first step is ionization and the second step is deprotonation. Ionization in the sense generation of carbocation is possible in the step one. In the second step, what happens? Second step, deprotonation. Removal of H plus is possible. Okay. During the ionization, formation of carbocation. The formation of carbocation is same like SN1 reaction only. So this is just like SN1 reaction. Step 1 remains. It is also unimolecular. In second step, deprotonation, proton is lost by carbocation. Removal of proton or removal of proton or removal of H plus is possible, so that we will get carbon-carbon double bond. Carbon-carbon double bond formation is possible. The next, this happens in the presence of base. which further leads to the formation of pi bond. Carbon-carbon double bond is also called as pi bond formation in that molecule. Okay. In even reaction, rate is also proportional to the concentration of the substance transformed. That is called unimolecular, and it comes under first order kinetics only. This is the best example for first order kinetics. Okay. These are the specifications of even elimination. Please, all of you mute your phone. And the next, what are the factors influencing even reaction? Even reaction is favored by this type of alkyl halide. When primary alkyl halide is there, even reaction is least preferable. Secondary alkyl halide, somewhat reaction will be high. When we are taking tertiary alkyl halide, rate is extremely high. Tertiary alkyl halide having greater the extent of reaction, just like SN1, SN2 reaction. SN1 favored by
అమ్మ
tertiary.
నా స్వీట్ ఏది
Here also,
కూడా అలా ఉంచుతావే ఏంటి
even elimination is favored by tertiary alkyl halide. Then increasing rate of even is primary to secondary, secondary to tertiary, just like this is just similar to SN1 reaction. Now let us see strength of the base. For even reaction, weak base is required, but E2 reaction, E2 elimination reaction requires strong base. Even elimination only weak base is required here. So here weak base includes water and ROH molecule. Any one can be base which used to pick the H plus ion from that carbocation, so that here carbon-carbon double bond is generated. Here the conditions for even elimination reaction is the reaction kinetics is first order rate constant. It is the first order reaction, and the mechanism proceeded with two-step mechanism. Here two-step reaction will be there. Two-step reaction will be there. First step is generation of carbocation, and the second step is deprotonation of carbocation in the presence of base. Then identity of R group. More substituted halides reacts faster. So tertiary is more reactive compared to secondary, compared to primary. So just we discussed. Strength of the base. Even elimination reactions are favored by weak base like water and ROH, whereas E2 reaction is favored by strong bases, ethoxide, methoxide, like that. Here it is even, that's why water and ROH, such bases are enough for this even elimination reaction. The next, leaving group. Better the leaving group, faster the rate of the reaction. So better the leaving group in the sense, fluoro is more reactive compared to chloro, compared to bromo, compared to iodo. That's the reason why when fluoro group is present, rate of the reaction will be extremely high. So these are the conditions for even elimination reaction. When we are plotting the graph between energy versus progress of the reaction, initial energy will be extremely low. That is halogenated compound, tertiary halogenated compound was taken, whose, let us add the members, whose energy is extremely low. So when we are treating with the reagent, what happens? Its activation energy is raised to the maximum level, and now it involved in dissociation of chloride. When chloride ion is dissociated, generation of carbocation, stability of carbocation is more compared to activation energy. Now this carbocation slowly, when added with this base, that is water molecule, when water is added, again energy of this intermediate is slightly raised, and this is called second activation energy. After the attack of this base, what happens? Hydrogen from the adjacent position is removed, so that energy is slowly reduced to extremely low, and we will get carbon-carbon double bond. Carbon-carbon double bond formation is possible. This is the energy profile diagram of even elimination. We are plotting the graph between progress of the reaction versus energy. Lower energy starting material was taken. When base is approached, what happens? Its energy is raised to activation energy 1. and it involved in step 1 where carbocation formation is possible. This carbocation now attacked with this base where H plus ion is removed. When base is very close here, it reaches activation energy 2. Now this is slowly lowered and less amount of energy contains carbon-carbon double bonded compound is generated, which is highly favorable. So this is about the process of even reaction. Now let us discuss about E2 reaction. How bimolecular bimolecular elimination reactions are possible. The most common mechanism for E2 elimination reaction is dehydrohalogenation only. But in case of dehydrohalogenation, the reaction is carried in the single step. Even reaction is multi-step process, but E2 reaction is a single step process where the reaction carried through a single transition state. Here, transition state is involved in this E2 elimination reaction. E2 elimination is called bimolecular because rate of the reaction depends upon tertiary alkyl halide as well as hydroxy functional group here. Tertiary alkyl halide and hydroxy, both the concentrations are influencing rate of the reaction. Hence, it is called bimolecular and it follows second order rate kinetics. The reaction is concerted. Here, simultaneous removal of bromo group and H plus by strong base. Here, strong base is required for E2 elimination reaction. In even elimination, mild base is enough for the reaction. But in case of E2, we need strong base for the removal of hydrogen from this adjacent center. Simultaneous removal of bromo and hydrogen are possible so that carbon-carbon double bond is generated. Formation of product is mainly depends upon Saitjev rule, which is also called a Zaitsev rule. That is nothing but carbon-carbon double bond is generated, which is occupied by more number of alkyl groups. More substituted alkene is called more stable. That is called Saitjev rule, which is also called as Zaitsev rule. When we are taking unsymmetrical alkyl halides, the product formation mainly depends upon this principle, that is Saitjev rule. More substituted alkene is more stable. Now, let us see what is the mechanism for this E2 elimination reaction. Let us zoom up this. Okay. In E2 elimination reaction, we are taking this alkyl halide. Alkyl halide is treated with this base. Base used to abstract the H plus from this carbon atom, and simultaneous removal of halide is possible when bromo group accepting this H plus and removal of this X minus is possible. There is a formation of transition state. In this transition state, base is abstracting H plus denoted with dotted lines. Slowly, this H plus is departed from the carbon. Again, it is denoted with dotted lines. New carbon-carbon double bond is forming here. That formation of bond is indicated by initiation of bond formation indicated by dotted lines again. Departure of X minus is also indicated by this dotted line. So this is called a transition state. Why we are saying transition means it is not a compound. We are not isolate this. It is not possible to locate this compound. That's the reason why it is called a transition state. Short-lived intermediate compound is formed. From this compound, here slowly this H plus and X minus are removed and we will get carbon-carbon double bond. Here final product is carbon-carbon double bond, which is called unsaturated compound. So this is about E2 elimination where simultaneous removal of X minus and H plus both are. Now, let us see what are the specifications of E2 elimination. E2 elimination refers to bimolecular elimination reaction. It is proceeded with one-step mechanism. The reaction is proceeded in only single step, whereas even proceeded in two-step mechanism. Here, carbon hydrogen and carbon halogen bonds mostly break up to form a new carbon-carbon double bond. So carbon hydrogen bond involved in cleavage as well as carbon halogen bond involved in cleavage. Hence, new carbon-carbon double bond formation is possible in this E2 elimination. Here, rate determining step mainly involves that what concentration of alkyl halide as well as concentration of base both. So base is a part of rate determining step in E2 elimination. That's the reason why it comes under bimolecular, whereas even only alkyl halide will influence rate of the reaction. The reaction rate is mostly proportional to the concentration of both eliminating agents and the substrate. Okay, alkyl halide and base both are influencing rate of the reaction. Hence, it is called second order kinetics. Base appears in this reaction. Base appears in the reaction should be very strong. Strong base is required for E2 elimination, whereas mild base is required in even elimination reaction. Here base may be either OH minus or RO minus. RO in the sense alkoxide. Alkoxide you may take methoxide, ethoxide, propoxide. Any kind of alkoxide may be taken for the removal of H minus in this reaction. So better leaving group, faster will be the E2 elimination. Just like even here also, when eliminating group is very fast, then rate of the reaction is also enhanced. Rate of the reactivity will be Ri, Rbr, Rcl and Rf. This is about rate of the reaction towards E2 elimination reaction. When primary alkyl halide is there, it is more prone towards SN2 reaction. That means bimolecular substitution. When we are moving from primary to tertiary, what happens? That reaction is proceeded for this E2 elimination. There is a competition between SN2 and E2. SN2 is the substitution reaction, whereas E2 is the elimination reaction. Reactant is same for these two type of reactions, but based on the alkyl halide used, whether it is substitution or elimination is given. When we are taking primary, most of the reactions are proceeded by SN2. When we are taking tertiary, most of the reactions are proceeded through E2 elimination reaction. Now, let us see the important specifications of E2 reaction. One is kinetics for E2 elimination is the second order, where rate of the reaction depends upon the concentration of alkyl halide as well as incoming base. Mechanism for E2 is single step with the transition state formation. Identity of R groups, more substituted halide react very faster. That means tertiary alkyl halides are more reactive compared to secondary, compared to primary. Leaving group, better the leaving group, greater will be the speed of the reaction, faster the reaction. Type of the solvent, polar aprotic solvent is required. Polar aprotic solvent in the sense, polarization should be there, but no H plus ions. When we are taking ethyl acetate is the best example for polar aprotic solvent. E2 elimination is stereoselective, resulting in the formation of trans double bond. Whatever double bond is generated, two similar groups are in the opposite direction, hence it is the stereoselective reaction. This is about E1 and E2 reactions. Let us revise E1 and E2 again. Yes, E1 stands for unimolecular elimination, E2 stands for bimolecular elimination. E1 reaction, first order kinetics, E2 reaction, second order kinetics. E1 reaction is carried in two steps, whereas E2 reaction is carried in only one step. E1 reaction proceeded with carbocation intermediate, whereas E2 elimination proceeded with transition state formation. E1 reaction requires mild base like water and ROH, where E2 reaction requires strong base like OH minus and RO minus. E1 reaction is proceeded with a tertiary alkyl halide. Formation of carbocation is the step 1. Deprotonation is the step 2 process. Whereas E2 reaction, it is the single step process. First, base is attacked on the alkyl halide. So simultaneous removal of H plus and Br minus are possible with the transition state. In the transition state, base is abstracting the H plus, whereas halo group is departed from that next carbon atom. Subsequent carbon-carbon double bond formation is possible. And even E2 both are favored by Sedgwick rule. Sedgwick rule is used to govern this even E2 reaction where unsymmetrical alkyl halides are there. More substituted alkene will be the major product. More substituted alkene in the sense around the two carbon atoms of the double bond, more the substitutions when present, the formed product will be highly stable. E2 reaction is stereospecific in nature. Always it used to give trans double bonded compound. Around the double bond, two similar groups are in opposite direction. That is called a trans double bond. That will be more stable, more favorable in case of E2 elimination reaction. Then even elimination reaction energy profile will be given as two energy excitation states will be there and the final product energy will be lesser compared to initial starting material. Whereas E2 elimination reaction, we will get a single peak, one energy excitation transition state will be there and excited transition state contains highest energy, transition state energy will be high and the product stability will be extremely high. So that will be at lower position. Then polar solvents are required for even elimination reaction, whereas non-polar solvent, otherwise aprotic solvents are required for this E2 elimination reaction.